Good morning. It is Charles Van Morgan, none other than the real live Charles Van Morgan. Got somebody in here saying I'm an imposter, that I'm not really Charles Van Morgan. Wow. The babblings of mad men and women are on the channel and in government power, which is what I'm concerned about. Welcome, welcome. You have reached the infamous Charles Van Morgan Show. Come on in. Thank you. Good morning. T-I-N-G-Z. So we're gonna make you the moderator. We appreciate you. May God bless you, I pray. So thank you. Come on in, the Charles Van Morgan Show. We're talking about the babblings of mad women and men in government power. And some of them are on here, and that's why we need a moderator. And we're gonna do just that. Thank you very much. And today we're going to talk about our run for governor, our fight against the hypocrisy, the babblings of mad women, plural, and men, and just point out the atrocities and the sickness of their lies. So we'll mute the button so we can't get bothered by phone calls. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Got a great show for you today. Going to talk about some specific lies of people in government power. Look at this beautiful American flag. It is a wonderful time to be an American right now. Wonderful time. Wonderful time to be an American. Beautiful flag, right side up. And the reason it's a wonderful time to be an American is that we are fighting in mortal combat evil in Iran, and also we are fighting evil in our government right here at home, not with violence, but with attrition and with speech, freedom of speech, telling the truth about these people. We're on the governor's ballot is one means of modus operandi, which is completely legal, but they'll illegalize running for governor, depending on who you are. They don't want every voice out, just the few voices that promote them. And the second modus operandi of our fight against the crooks, the mad men and women in state government, is we have civil litigation against them. Imagine that. They claim that filing civil litigation against them is a wrong that we're doing, and have literally put me in jail for filing civil litigation, for threatening civil litigation, which is saying that I'm not going to fight it out on the street with you the way rogues and thugs do, the way they do. They fight it out on the street. The judges in the Tennessee court, at least one of them, tried to violently, physically attack me for exercising a constitutional right, for having a different opinion than him. You can't have a different opinion than these people in government power. They're the only ones that can have an opinion, much like the reigning government. I mean, they'll try to kill you. So our modus operandi, our method of operation, and we got some we won't even tell them, is perfectly legitimate. Perfectly legitimate means not mortal combat. That's not the way you do it. I'm not involved in that. They are the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners, dangerous, violent, at least one of them, people want to disarm you and destroy you. Only put lawyers in office that represent them. That's exactly what they do. That's the magnitude of the problem. They're babblings of mad men and mad women. And I'll show you some of their violent babblings, their lies. You see the screenshot that adversely affect you. They adversely affect you with their lies and benefit themselves. Some of the things that they do are horrific. And the other modus operandi of this movement this political movement that we're at war with these people because it's time, like in Iran, mortal combat over there to stop the enemy. Political combat in the United States, war nonetheless. It is civilized warfare, politics in the courtroom, just the same as mortal combat, although it is legal political war in America that we're engaged in, just as effective to a certain extent and legal is we're involved in what you're part of is this YouTube channel. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News Live, and broadcasting to the world, which you are a part of. We thank you very much. You're a part of a movement to protect your God-given constitutional rights that they claim that they honor in the Constitution of Tennessee and the Constitution of the United States, but they don't. They don't. It's a lie, it's a facade. But they just recognize the Constitution. Trying to make sure I don't fall down. They just recognize the Constitution. They didn't give you your freedom of speech, your Second Amendment rights. God gave you your constitutional rights. The Constitution of the United States and the Tennessee Constitution merely recognizes what God gave you. So they have no power or authority to take it away from you. It's just recognized, and they just say they recognize it. They don't really recognize it. It's a facade, and that is what we're uncovering. And you, part of this YouTube, watching this show, subscribe if you like what I'm saying, are part of this movement to enforce our constitutional rights against their lie that alleges that they recognize our constitutional rights. Because they don't. They walk on them every day. And they have babblings of mad women and mad men that are in government power that lie to you for their own benefit, their own self-interest, and cause you destruction on a daily basis. It shows up on the roadways, in the numbers. And they lie about stuff. They lie. They call good evil, and I'll show you. And they lie. They call themselves good, and they call good evil. And I'll show you a specific example written in stone in court testimony where they swore to tell the truth, and then they lied. And I'll show you the lie. It's very blatantly honest. And these are people in government power right now. And some of them now and some of them in the past, and their descendants are people in government power right now because they keep the little power of the government all in the family, and they pass it down like this is their government, this is their world, and it's like a utopia for people in government power, like a little utopia. They got an unlimited amount of funds because it's tax funds, unless they kill everybody. In Tennessee, specifically, we're talking about, it happens all across the United States. Unless they kill everybody in Tennessee, they're going to have an unlimited amount of some alive people that they allow to survive who have escaped their injustices. They're going to have part of your paycheck to keep their little utopia going, to support them, their family, and their little proxy friends that they promise promotions and money for buying elections. Now, this is Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. You won't hear this on CNN, Con News Network. You won't hear this on any of the other networks because they're all in the big fancy party and family against you, the mass populace of Tennesseans. Mass millions of Tennesseans that they mistreat, that they lie to, that they babble, give you babblings of their mad women and mad men that benefit themselves. Now, they do it for several different possible reasons. I'm not completely sure, but I know that they do it, and I'm going to show you proof. They do it because their own self-interest, to take care of themselves and their family out of your tax money. They buy power and they lie to you. Another reason could be a scriptural, a biblical reason. If you're a God-fearing person, then another reason could be, and I tend to subscribe to this, you can formulate your own reasons. We don't have to have motive. I'm talking about the reasons why people in power have made the government self-serving to serve a few of the elite and stomp on, destroy a lot of people, the mass populace of people. And I'm speaking to you, the mass populace of people that the government has overrun and babbled to you with their lies, and are destroying the economy and destroying you. I'm talking about the government in Tennessee, where I live, where I know, where I've experienced. The other reason could be that they are demonically possessed. Some of them are. And some of the things they do, the self-serving things, the things that they do for power, is not unlike what Satan tried to do to Jesus when he was on the earth. Tempted him with power, brought him up to a high mountain, and offered him control over cities, and offered him governmental control power on the earth. And of course, Jesus rejected that, and he was in a weakened state. And some of these people have been offered power over other people in the government in order to destroy you. And they're babblings of people that are demonically influenced and possessed. And I'll show you their lies and their babblings just straight up. Now, you want to hear this message anywhere else, Unbridled News, Charles Van Morgan. And the reason why I tell you this is for your benefit and your good. We are fighting evil, and this is a time of war. So this is the right time, the right place. And telling you some of my modus operandi, getting out the truth. You're part of the truth by subscribing to this channel, by listening, commenting, and if you like what I'm saying, comment. And the reason, and subscribe. And we'll try to read some of the comments today. If we abruptly go off the air, we'll be back on another day to finish this dialogue. We're talking about the rogue government in the state of Tennessee, their babblings, their false propaganda that are designed to destroy you for their own benefit, for their own self-interest. And why they're doing that, why I'm speaking out about it, is a lot of people would say that I'm a victim of their abuse, lies, and mistreatment. And that's not true. The public is a victim. The mass populace is a victim if you choose to sit idly by and believe their babblings. Then you in fact are a victim. If you choose to stand up and fight, you're not a victim, and I'm not a victim of their mistreatment and their lies and their assault against me and against humanity. Now, David in the Bible fought a lion and a bear before he tackled the giant. He hit him in the head with a rock and then knocked him down, and then used the giant's sword to cut the giant's head off and killed him. Now that's the type of battle that we're in, except for this is civilized warfare. We're not going to engage in mortal combat as they are in Iran. And God bless, and I pray for our soldiers. And somebody needs to open up a tailpipe factory here in Knoxville to quieten some of these loud, noisy mufflers up, but I'm just saying. But some of them enjoy causing disturbances. But these are people that fly by your house at a high rate of speed in the middle of the night and wake you up with their little damn noise makers. So you could call people in Tennessee a victim of the government, of their lies, and a lot of people feel like they're victimized. But David in the Bible, he fought, we'll just go another way, he fought, change the script up. Welcome, welcome, come on in, you're watching the Charles Van Morgan Show, talking about being a victim, are we? So we're getting across the road. Like, share, comment. You won't hear this stuff anywhere else. There's some good stuff, you know, some out of the box. Let's just stay in the box they put for us and believe their damn lies. Yeah, I don't believe them for 1 minute. Now, I'm not trying to demoralize the mass populace of Tennessee. I'm just showing you, you're not a victim. You don't have to be a victim. And I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim at all. And I used to be one of the people who had faith and trust in the government. There's nothing wrong with that. You should have faith and trust in the government. It's not your fault. You can't. It is not. You should naturally assume that the government is good and they will do what's in your benefit, established by God. You should naturally think that until you get evidence to the contrary. And I'm bringing the evidence to the contrary. You can't assume that anymore. I used to vote for the people they had on the established tickets. I thought that I could make my choice between the worst evils and that it was a good established government that would somewhat, to some extent, do what is right, given we're in a fallen state. I have not succumbed to my injuries. I haven't. That's what they would like. And you haven't succumbed to your injuries. We're still alive. We're still able to fight these dirtbag thugs. And I love saying that because they hate for me to say that. They're dirtbag thugs. Lisa Perlin. They're dirtbag thugs. I'm not talking to you. You're not in power. It's the people, mass Tennesseans that are in power. They understand that. So we're not victims. We thought that people are like us would do what they say they would do. That wouldn't take from the poor and give to the rich and squander all of the riches of the mass population, which is exactly what they're doing. I mean, go to the grocery store and look how high food prices are. And they're arguing over whether they should continue to tax food. My answer is hell no. People are starving to death. I've literally had people, when we're getting across the road here, I've literally had people argue with me that little children are not starving in the state of Tennessee, that they're not starving, that they're getting fat, that the food stamp program is killing our little children. I mean, you can, wow. Babblings of insane people, babblings of crazy people, babblings of people that are listening to people in government power and bite hook, line, and sinker. There's little children starving in the state of Tennessee right now. There's little children starving in the United States of America. Pretty much a third world country. And I'm not blaming the current administration at the national level completely. I'm blaming where I live right here, right now in Tennessee. And I'm not a victim. I used to adhere to these babblings because I thought what they said was true until I learned different. And that's the key. I learned different. And that's why I'm here. And I'm here to confirm what the mass Tennesseans, what you already know too, what I've learned too, what you already know. And I'm just your ticket to get out of this mess. And we're not victims. You could say that David was a victim when he had to fight the bear. And he wasn't a victim. You could say that David was a victim when he fought the lion. He wasn't a victim when he fought the lion. Those were experiences to teach him how to do better, how to fight the Philistine, that he used his own means, you know, like here, a cell phone, a good fancy mic now, and a good dose, a good vaccination. They hate vaccinations, a good vaccination of the truth. And if you don't like vaccinations, you should have the right not to. But vaccinations, the truth is, they've saved lives. They've eradicated diseases. I mean, that's just the scientific facts. And we got a political candidate, and I'm not on either side of it. The side I'm on is if you don't want it, don't get them. If you do want them, which they want to stop us from doing, then you ought to be able to get a vaccine. I'm for freedom. And we got a candidate running on a freedom ticket that is against vaccines for you, calls it a jab. If you get a vaccine, you're getting a jab. And he's running on the liberty ticket. What insanity. Babblings of a madman, Mr. Fritz. Already in government power, and he's not even going to win, but I think it's important to challenge that. Babblings of madmen. And the liberty people out here running around saying, we're for liberty. Stop the jab. You listen to me. You know, I got the COVID vaccine. That was my choice. If you didn't, that's your choice. I'm not against that. All I'm saying is very clear. You should have the choice either way. And they run on freedom and say, you only have one choice, and that's freedom. Really? I mean, you just think about some of the insanity that these people are trying to tell you. I'm for freedom. They say they're for peace, they're for war. I'll tell you, I'm for war. That's what I'm for. That's what I'm here for. No mistakes about it. No compromises. We're head on fighting these people. And people say, well, like Lester Roloff, why you gotta fight on these people? Why you gotta go head on into all these people? And I don't always go head on and make them think that, but it's because they're going the wrong direction. If they turn around and fly right, we won't be head on against them. It's their fault, not mine. That's one of the issues. They blame you for their atrocities. They blame you for not helping them enough to advance in power, to destroy you. They want your help in destroying them. So I used to be a person that believed they're bull malarkey. And in the Christian faith, you learn that power is ordained by God. And that if you resist that, you resist the ordinances of God. But the power that they wield, the deceitful power that they wield, is not, absolutely not ordained by God. It's ordained by the babblings of mad men and women. And I'm going to tell you, show you specifically some of their babblings. And from a educated, logical perspective, from a stone cold sober, somebody that hit reality. And I'm not a victim of the government. I learned from the government. I'm much better off for the damage that they did to me. I learned from it. I learned that they're not legitimate, that they are not ordained by God, that they are a bunch of liars, and that we need to get God's ordained government in office to be able to have our First Amendment right. For one, my main reason, you can have whatever reason you want to, the First Amendment applies to everybody. You have the right to freedom of speech. They don't want us to speak freely. They want us to believe their babblings. The number one reason is for freedom of speech so that we can spread the gospel to all the world. They're trying to take our freedom of speech away with the babblings of madmen, and mad women have literally made it unlawful to distribute Christian information to people in the state of Tennessee while they distribute their babblings of madmen with your tax money by the so-called Peace Act. It's not a peace act. It's a Christian gospel stop act. And if you don't believe me, read the act and tell me what it means. They get to decide. These mad people get to lie is what they're going to do. And I can show you some of their lies. We'll spell it out for you plain and simple in court documents where they swore to tell the truth and then they lied. Swore to tell the truth and lied. You can't get much better evidence than that. I mean, people could say things in jest that they didn't really mean. You can take it out of context, but when you're asked a direct question under oath where you're notified, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. So you know, hey, you're bound to a truthful level. You're asked a direct question by an attorney in court under oath, and you lie, then that is proof positive. And if I can prove that's proof positive, these people are mad babblings in courtrooms, in their courtrooms, and they know they can get by with it because they own these courtrooms, because the judiciary in Tennessee write out opinions that are babblings of mad men and mad women. That's the absolute truth. And I really hate to say this, but we're not going to beat them by toying with them, by voting for somebody that says they're for liberty when they're for half of liberty and the other half of people that don't agree with the liberty that they're trying to sell. They're trying to stop us. I'm for all liberty. They're for their side of liberty, what their hard head, their babblings believe in. And they don't care if it kills people. They really don't care. That's why they're mad people. So I'm not a victim of their abuse, of their babblings. I am made better by coming to the realization, and that's what I want y'all to do, by coming to the realization that this government in the position that it is in right now has been infiltrated, has been infected by babblings of mad men and mad women, and I'm going to point out what those mad men and mad women are. You got two of them on my screenshot. Major Cheryl Satterfatter, and that's her retirement picture. Went on to retire and hand the baton off, hand their sick, self-serving baton to another sick, pathetic, babbling mad woman. And Major Heltherly, she's dishing out hell to you, dishing out hell. You know, hell is prepared for the devil and his angels, not prepared for humans. Satan knows he's on his way there, and he wants as many humans that God loves. He wants as many people in the world to go there with him, and they're dishing out hell. Major Heltherly. Now we just civilized warfare took care of her the other day. She's no longer the major in the state of Tennessee. So we have administered our honorable destructive vices to protect Tennesseans, and she's no longer the major over the Tennessee Highway Patrol. So we're moving, advancing. Now they won't tell you that. They'll lie about that, but we played a major part in her being taken out of power, so she can't lie to you all anymore. And she's a liar, and a gluttonous liar. I mean, she even literally, the environment that she created with her power, which was one of destruction on Tennesseans, was literally struck by some of the own lies that she told while she was in power. And so babblings of mad women and mad men, and we're not victims. We are in a battle. And mass Tennesseans, subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm saying. If you think the government's good and fine, at least at the state and local level, and you're very pleased with what they're doing, you think you can go along to get along, then subscribe anyway to help me, because I'll use you to advance the wishes and wills and the benefit of the mass populace in society. And you might want to listen to what I'm saying, because hopefully sooner or later we're gonna take over the government and make it for the mass populace. If you hear or like what I'm saying, you won't hear this stuff anywhere else. This is truth. No one completely demoralizes, and I'm not demoralizing. No one completely points out the demoralization, the complete and utter sickness, skankiness of people in power. That is the truth, like I will. Everybody wants to just play with it because they're in power, they're afraid of them. So let's try to appease them or be nice to them. Now let's call a ball and a strike a strike. Let's call a pig and a pig, and an angel of light an angel of light. And although I'm no angel, I do have angels guarding me, I believe, in this fight for justice, and shining a light on who they are. I'm not doing anything wrong. This is out of love for them. They need to straighten up their act. So I used to believe that they were just and honorable and ordained by God, and they're not. They're liars. They've infected the government. I'm not a victim of the government. I have been mistreated by the government. You have been mistreated by the government. I'm about to tell you how. And because when I was in government service, I was protecting you. And I thought that's what they were doing too, but they weren't. So had I not learned what I learned, I wouldn't be here today telling you the truth about them. I would have been a small part of the problem. So I'm not a victim of the government. You're not a victim of the government. You have learned how to fight a lion and a bear and have been better because of it. Got some scars from it. Learn how to protect yourself. So I am much better in a different position than any candidate on the ballot, than any litigator, because I have no facade about what I'm up against. I'm up against dirty scumbag creep liars, and shine the light on who they are. I'm just showing you who they are. It's wide open, and just a little bit of the public corruption. I mean, we could spend days and hours and weeks showing you how disgusting these people are, and it's stenchy, and it's hard. It's really hard to talk about the level of degradation that these people have drugged themselves to and have drugged society to. Two of them are pictures on the icon. Those people are some of the most disgusting, despicable, stenchy people in the world, and they even stink. If you've ever been around them, I have. You almost have to hold your nose. You try not to, they're in power. But they're stenchy, disgusting people. And I'm just simply pointing it out for your protection because they damage you. They're very damaging to you. And you'll have no other candidate that will say that. The other candidates are part of the problem. They're wanting to hold a part of the establishment, the part of the conveyor belt. They know if they get on the Liberty Party, if they get on the Republican Party, if they get on the Democrat Party, then they get the votes of these mad men and mad women, and the conveyor belt takes them all the way to the governor's mansion or in power in different places. And they're able to benefit themselves and the small group of elite that are in power and step on you and demise and destroy you. And it's either out of their own self-interest, their own self-will, to get something for nothing. That's what people in power do. They want to get something for nothing. Or it is out of demonic possession and influence, which I believe that is the case because of their sickness and their babblings and stuff that even endangers their self. Now you look at people similarly like Candace Owens, the babblings of a mad woman. Now some of the sick things that she is saying about God's chosen people, the nation of Israel, and some of the sick conspiracy theories that she is spreading are very similar to people that are in government power, some of the sick lies and demonic things that they're saying. So you wonder, is she just trying to get clicks, Candace Owens, for astonishing people, and people love to listen to conspiracy theories and she makes money off of it? Or is she literally possessed by demons or demonically influenced and babblings of a mad woman, which is what similar to people in government power, their babblings are? And I'm just spelling it out like it is. You won't hear this anywhere else. You'll hear people that get along, go along. I'm offering you a government ordained by God that serves you, simply put, and pointing out, and I hate to shine a light on the sewer. It's disgusting, but I have to do it. I have to do it because you'll think the sewer is all right. It doesn't smell that bad. I'm telling you, it's 10 times worse than what you think. So I'm the bearer of bad news for a good purpose. For a good purpose, it has to be done. War is hell. I mean, we're over there in Iran. We've got 7 bodies back. It's sad. It's sad what has to be done in order to make the world a better, safer place. And you can go to these funerals, and when they get these dead American soldiers off of airplanes, and I watched it on television the other day, and it's sad, and I can show you signs in the city of Knoxville, and I'm just explaining to you why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm being so what apparently appears over dramatic, but it is not. It is the cold, hard facts. It is the truth that'll set you free. And you got to face it for yourself and your family. And I'm about to point it out to you point blank in paper in court hearings when we get to the bridge. And please listen. It's for your own good. And there's a better time, a better world, a better place, a better Tennessee that serves you, that fights and gets rid of this sickness that has infected our land from an alleged Christian governor. Wow. He's got his hind end up the money trail so far. He don't know which way's up, and proclaims the gospel after he's poked a little too. I had to poke the man to mention the name of Jesus Christ. Claims to be a Christian and doesn't say Jesus. I had to poke him to say that mention in all his babble of Christianity that he never said the name of Jesus while he's claiming to be a Christian. So he finally did the other day in a State of the Union address where he lied to you. He just lied. But he finally said the name of Jesus. Maybe there is a semblance of fear of God in him. I don't know. I know he's afraid of the power. He's a little sissified man, wears a dress, and gets mad at you if you point out his own sickness. So I'm just pointing out, and I know that is hard. War is hard. And what I'm doing right now is very difficult. It's very difficult for me and to shine a light on the sewer, but it's called war, and it's what I'm here for. It is my calling, and I'm blessed in it. And you will be too if we're successful. So we're shining a light on their misuse of Tennesseans, on their abuse of us, and we have learned we haven't been victims. We have learned how to fight them. We've learned how to, excuse my language, beat their ass. We've learned that they're not just honest people by being burned by them. We have battle scars. So we were well aware. They caught us off guard before. We were asleep at the wheel, thinking that they were a part of the righteousness that we were a part of, but we have figured out through the dirty that they have done that they're not a part of us. They're not a part of the mass populace of people. They're not going to serve you. They never have, they never will until we annihilate them, drop a bomb on them at the voting booth. Not with violence, with attrition, which means we keep after it. We don't keep their score. Their score will tell you we're losing. Their score is working on me big time, but why would they attack me in such a manner that they do? It's because I'm fighting them. I'm on the front line. They want to get the best soldier, the biggest fighter, the fighter of truth. These other people that are full of their sickness too, they're not going to fight them. They'll just let that play out where it will. The city of Knoxville and people here in this city have tried to demoralize me, elevating people that have committed crimes too high to get more votes than me, so they want me to believe that that's going to be the way all across Tennessee by psychological warfare, which they're engaged in against me, which ain't going to work out for them. Don't buy any of their lies. Don't buy any of their lies. So we're going to show you when we get down to our little pulpit, we're going to show you some of the lies under oath, where they swore to tell the truth, of people in government power. Some of their babblings, and talk about Major Derek Stewart, former Major Derek Stewart, who was promoted to, and former Colonel Major Derek Stewart, who was promoted to Colonel for a short period of time. He certainly didn't know how to run a law enforcement academy, which he was over. I was in the academy that he was over, a foul-mouthed, dirty little puny man that a girly woman could have whooped and still could to this day. I mean, their academy is the most sissified girly academy you ever went to in your life. And we're going to talk about Derek Stewart, some of the things he's involved in, was involved in. We're going to talk about Major Cider Fighter, some of the lies she told under oath. So let's just go ahead and talk to you about Colonel Derek Stewart now. He got promoted to colonel to fulfill and I'll just say it like it is, to fulfill they got to have so many of different races, not qualifications. And they promoted him because he's a black man, not because he knows what he's doing, and because he's a company man, a company pathetic man, and he's a dirtbag. He's a thug. And you know, training troopers all over the state can't even protect his stupid self. Colonel Derek Stewart, they played the race card. We got to have so many black people in high positions in state government. And I'm not racist. Promote people, and if he was qualified, promote him because of his qualifications, because he protected society. He sat in an office. And if you know Colonel Derek Stewart, there's over 2.3 million people listening to me. If you know former Colonel Derek Stewart, call him, tell him I'm talking about him. Tell him to sue me for defamation. I'll be glad to go to a courtroom in front of you citizens and explain how he's a pathetic foul-mouthed, dirtbag thug that trained people to worship the brass at the public's demise. So he and the other colonels, and one president right now, has followed in his footsteps, but they promoted him to major. They promoted him to major, to colonel and major, because they needed so many black people. And black people don't need that. They're smart enough where they could have got a major in the highway patrol, a black person in the highway patrol, that was smart enough to protect society. And they don't need to be elevated. They don't need people's help. They can stand on their own 2 feet. I'm not racist. I'm against their promoting people based on race solely, and they're not just promoting them based on race. They're promoting them because they worship them, and they have to have so many of the people that worship them. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it. People accuse me of being racist. Tomboy type thing. But he has no substantial education. And the University of Tennessee, he's retired now. He's retarded. He was retarded when he was in his job. But he teaches at the University of Tennessee, taught class there at the University of Tennessee. He has no education, substantially, not qualified to be any kind of professor. And he's out here teaching at universities, teaching how to worship the brass and how to worship Haslam. He did a study when he was a colonel. I'm talking about this is the people that are in government power that you're following right now, that you think, a lot of people think are honorable people. I'm just telling you the truth. So he's not qualified to teach at any level. He's a babbling idiot. You should have been in his training classes where he'd turn the camera off, and then start cussing people out. You know, big men that could have whooped his dirtbag little sissy ass tail. And he did that because, you know, he's got your paycheck over you. Your kids and family had to put up with his foul-mouthed atrocities because he's got your paycheck. You're feeding your children. You didn't know it'd be like that when you quit your job and went to work for these pieces of dirt. So you take his cussings, you take his atrocities, and of course it's not recorded. Turn the camera off, which when you're out on the road, you gotta have your camera on all the time. And when they call you in their little offices, they don't have their cameras on then. Troopers across the state, hey, your best bet's to vote for me, because they're gonna demoralize you when it not true while they're immoral. So he did a study. And his brilliance, he thinks he's brilliant. These people think they're brilliant. They literally believe their own garbage. And how dare I speak against him? God's going to judge me. Yeah, right. I'm looking around. I don't see God's judgment. I see his blessing. So, welcome. Come on board. So we're talking about Colonel Derek Stewart, the stellar man that he is. You believe that? He's a damn fool. He went against a true soldier, a true fighter that stood out on the road that night by himself and arrested more people that were dangerous to you than anybody in the state. And he didn't train me. I got training from another academy before that, the Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy, years before that. And so that was just a propaganda school that you had to go through to learn their way of worshiping people in state government at their school. So he did a study. And people were praising other sergeants. You know, it's funny how they sit around and praise the people over them. You can be talking to one of the supervisors about some type of training issue that you want to learn more about to make society better. And one of these captains or lieutenants walk in, they turn around and start telling them how beautiful they look and how wonderful they are and how wonderful the study that they're doing, which makes no sense, and how great they are, trying to get promoted, you know, licking their boots. They're not worried about training, making the Tennessee safer. They're worried about licking the boots of the brass. Now, I'm talking about an academy that I went to twice. I got two certificates of completion of their dirtbag trash academies. Now, they like to act like it's the greatest academy in the world. A lot of people can't even make through it. They can't handle their academies because they're so difficult, intensive, physical and mental training. And they run me down like I'm nothing. I made it through their trash academies twice. I put up with that stuff because I had to feed my children. Now, things are a little different now. There's a little different platform, a little different world that they created, not me. Don't blame me for what I'm doing, blame them. They shouldn't have attacked me, and they shouldn't have attacked Tennesseans and caused great mass casualties and destruction all across state Tennessee because they picked the wrong damn fight. They should have read the data. I'm not a toy, and you're not a toy. There's much more of us than them, a whole lot more. That's why they're interested in this show. Subscribe to it. Build it up. 2.3 million people is a little dent in their corruption, and they know that. The message is getting out. I'm outside the box. Nobody says this stuff. That has to be said. I wasn't demoralized, panicked in such a manner on the road that I couldn't perform my duties. I did it every night. Now, I was a cautious fighter, warrior that led the state in the roads being safer, and in this fight, I'm not demoralized that I can't protect society now either, which is what I'm doing, trying to protect you, and you're part of that. Subscribe and listen. So Mr. Derek Stewart, the thug that he is, the minority chosen to advance because of his race, you know, the equal opportunity pick, where they had other well-qualified people that were African Americans that they could have put in that position. They chose to put a babbling idiot, a babbling madman in that position that worshiped them. And if you'd seen some of the stuff he did when I was in the academy with him twice, I know the man, I met him, a completely total coward. Now, he thought I was afraid of him because I was enduring that to take care of my family. Guess what, Mr. Derek Bozo Madman Stewart? You're an icon of something that's reached 2.3 million people. And if you feel giddy, if you feel bad, if you feel delusional, I'm out here. I'm not afraid of your skankness. Things have changed. You don't hold my paycheck, little boy. And I wouldn't advise it, but I'm here. You know, you change things. Your department changed things, Colonel, and he says stuff bad about me, so he's doing a study. He's, you know, in order to do a scientific study, according to math, according to research, There's certain guidelines and rules that you have to go by to be able to conduct a scientific study. And science is what God made. God organized the world. God made the world. That's how we know we're not here by chance, because things aren't chaotic. Because there's organization and design to things, which points to a great creator and organizer and designer of things. That's how we can measure things, because it is measurable. Because God made things in a specific way. Look at DNA. Has a code in it. That code didn't get here by random chance. There's too much similar code, too much organization in the code. We know that some great creator, God Almighty, Jesus Christ, was God in the flesh, organized and designed things. So in scientific studies, even in our great universities, you can do studies by looking and searching for patterns. And there are specific classes that I have taken on doing studies and doing surveys and learning knowledge. That's how they've been able to come up with artificial intelligence, by doing studies and designs, trial and error, and figuring out patterns. So Mr. Derek Doofus Stewart, former colonel of the unillustrious Tennessee Piss Patrol, otherwise known, codename Tennessee Highway Patrol, reality Tennessee Piss Patrol. And I say that because, you know, they've told a lot of lies about me. And I'm just returning fire, excuse me. They created the platform. So he did a study, and they said that he thought that troopers were getting run over and getting hit in police cars. This is how stupid that man is. Teaching at a University of Tennessee, where they know about scientific research, and just ignore it when one of the big dogs come in there. All knowledge and truth flies out the window when you have Haslam walk in the building. I mean, it's about how his Haslam school how to rip people off, step over bodies, and get to be a billionaire. Nobody says this about Mr. Haslam. I'll say it. It's truth. It's absolute God's honest truth. You look at him and see a sewer, made up, expensive hair from a stylist that gets all kinds of money from him while he's standing on a body, getting rich off you, taxing your food, ending his taxes, raising yours. So Colonel Derek Stewart did a study, has no knowledge of how to do any damn study. We're on spring break right now, so there's not a lot of college students out here. And we love UT college students. And your name will be on a degree that you've learned some stuff. God bless you. That's a noble endeavor to get educated to advance society in a good, positive way. And thank you. And there's other ways. There's trade schools, and some people don't go to college. They learn stuff on their own. God bless you too. But Mr. Derek Dirty Stewart, cussing, lying, babbling little sissified man, did a study, and he believed in his sick, stupid mind that blue lights cause people to drive off the road and slam into patrol cars and hit troopers sometimes and kill state troopers and kill police officers. So in his bright brilliance, not knowing even how to do a scientific study, decided that blue lights are what cause troopers to get killed. So he was doing a study to find out how many troopers with blue lights on their car got killed because somebody hit their car because of blue lights, that he alleged. And brilliant man, right? I mean, every trooper on the side of the road, or even police officer, has blue lights on their car. So he was 100% correct. Wow, what amazing stupidity. Now, if he had known how to do research, took a class in research methods, in sociology, or any kind of scientific research study, he would have known that, hey, well, maybe this is not a very good study, or this is not the way to do it. But he's an idiot, filled with his own grandeur. and determined, I guess, 100% of troopers on the side of the interstate, the side of highways, officers have blue lights on when they've got a car stop, and that's the reason why they're killed. But every one of them do when they're, because when they have blue lights on, they have blue lights on, and when they're killed beside their patrol car, then that's the reason. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And he taught a class here at the University of Tennessee, and just a babbling idiot, full of bull malarkey. Didn't have the training or education, similar to Mr. Matt Perry, who says that, we got some boats out here, look at the beautiful view, who says that, thank y'all very much for joining me, who says that, and the power might go out, but that's all right. Similar to Mr. Matt Perry, who says you don't have any constitutional rights. So we're going to lose power. We'll continue this show another day. Thank y'all for joining me. But who says you don't have any constitutional rights? And we'll talk about the lies, maybe tomorrow, the next day, of Major Satterfighter under oath. The lies that she told in under oath testimony, clear lies that these people in government power lie and cause you to get killed all across Tennessee. So she lied on me under oath and alleged that I didn't follow the general order. When she made up the general order, she said that I didn't handle a fire extinguisher correctly at the scene of a fire to try to get me off the road, when the general order does not say you even have to use a fire extinguisher. So while I was going above and beyond, she's saying that my above and beyond in dangerous activity out at the scene of a fiery wreck after the fact, that I didn't handle it correctly, while she's sitting in a cowardly office, sitting back in Monday morning quarterback while I was out on the road in danger. What a sick, pathetic major. She was the first woman promoted to major, one of their DIE